Alright, good morning everybody. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good day. It's Sunday after all. How is everybody doing? First of all. In the meantime, hey Schmidhelicopter. Yesterday I posted with the announcement of the stream, I posted a story. Within this story, I posted the poll. And to decide what to draw, either we want to, go in the direction of transport for our world building series, or maybe do some characters. And surprisingly, wait, let me switch the camera. Which is kind of unexpected. More people voted for vehicles than characters, which is great for me because I suck at character design and anatomy drawings and all that stuff. So it doesn't mean that I don't suck at vehicles, but at least I feel more comfortable with that. Even Schmidhelicopter's clones and voting hacks didn't work. Although I did vote myself, but I think that's fair. Let's just get our ideas running with some references for fantasy transport. This is kind of what I had in mind in a way. Like all this stuff. I think it's great. How is it? You made Fla? How did you make Fla? For those who don't know, Fla is the Dutch kind of like a cream pudding. Alright, so we have some nice ideas for floating things and ships. If you would like to get the stream references, you can type !refs in the chat. Alright, let's just go ahead and start sketching some ideas, I think. How did you make Fla, by the way? I didn't even know you can do it at home. Milk, sugar, yolks, cornstarch, and vanilla. That's interesting. Do you cook it? Like, is it like a custard? It wasn't perfect. Hello, that onion. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Today we're drawing vehicles and transport for our world building thing. It should be quite fun because we have some air stuff, some water. It should be a lot of fun with balloons and ship designs, I think. And I guess I will do it sideways because I feel lazy today. With some chocolate sprinkles, it was nice. Chocolate sprinkles is also a very Dutch thing. They do sandwiches with chocolate sprinkles on top. The onion says, I'm doing okay, finishing on a fun drawing, just getting bored of it, so I just I will just add in details and move on. That sounds fun. What drawing are you working on? In the meantime, I will just start thinking on some ideas, I guess. Since last time, or before last time, we did this thing, which is this kind of a crown island with some buildings. And maybe we can design some ships and some transport for this village, the Crown of Gravand. That's the name. Actually, let's maybe let's copy this. Copy all. And now we go here and paste. Just as a reference for what we're doing the vehicle design for. Alright, what did I miss? Sharing on Discord. Let's see what that onion did. Ooh, that's an explorer character. I really like your shape, like working with shapes, like the forms is and forms is. That sounds like what Gorlon would say. The forms is a great, and the shading on the pants is really cool. Is it for something specific, or is it just a random character? Schmillikopter says, I'm also finishing the one I started last stream. You can send it on Discord as well, or Telegram if you want. It was for an art prompt with theme adventure, that is all. That's an adventurer. So I think you did well on that task. Did you participate in, like, on Instagram there is this monthly character design challenge with the monthly theme? I think that sounds something like that they would do. Alright, so ships. Let's see. Let's say this is the water level. Then we would have something like... let's just draw a regular ship for now. And then think how we can customize it to make it more ours. So first, maybe we can also think about what kind of ship will it be. Maybe it's a ship for trading. Merchant ship. Haven't taken part in those yet. I'm interested but not fully dedicated time-wise. I see, yeah. Well, it's also kinda nice to, if you don't know what to draw, sometimes that can give you an idea of like, oh, why not draw something that everybody else is drawing, you know, as a challenge. And then if you're happy with the results or not, or if you have time, you can post it. Alright, so I think more in the direction of steampunk or something like that. So maybe not only sails or less sails, but also maybe like a big engine or a huge chimney or something like that. Or it could be also like a wheel on the side. Maybe it's one of these. Very sleepy music today. Let's see. An idea for today's drawing session from that onion. We many times see flying ships, but what about boats that are more stripped out planes? So you mean like so we do have ships that are just flying, right, like this, and the wings, but we don't see boats that are more stripped out planes. Like, oh, you mean boats that are planes. I see. So it's a boat, but it's an airplane. So something like this. Perfect interpretation of your idea, I think. Let's see. I want to reference how that other artist did the wings from the side view. Fantasy transport. Let's see. This guy. Oh, he didn't do it from the. Well, it's kind of from the side. Yeah, you just don't draw what's pointing in your direction. I see. Maybe cut off wings, and you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of this Greek what was it called? Trirema? Try something. You know, they used to have these ships with the big nose with which they would push through other ships. But an airplane without wings is just like a rocket. Maybe there could be like, then it kind of looks just a ship then. But good thinking. Maybe we can play around with this idea a bit. So we have this ship here. Maybe they're like, how do you call these things that stick out of the wheel? The pedals? Kinda don't like that it's in the middle, even though it's just a sketch and nobody cares really right now. There are really things called flying boats, like Saunders Row Princess. What? Let's see. So Saunders Row Princess. Oh, it is really a holy shish kebab. Let's save it to stream references. That's a really flying boat. Ooh. And they're really just big seaplanes, but instead of having those legs like small seaplanes, it's just a big boat shaped bottom part. I see. Yeah, so instead of having the legs for the airplane, they just use the whole thing. I wonder why they don't use it anymore. At least, transatlantic boat, flying boat. Or was it the problem like with Zeppelins that they were just too unstable? We'll have this chimney sticking out of here, I think. It will be a steam engine boat. There is a short documentary on them on YouTube. I just believe they just weren't the best option. That is all. Yeah, maybe you need to have specific weather so you can put them down. And if they're big and heavy and eat a lot of gas, I guess it's also economy wise isn't the best option. Alright, maybe it would have like a load of barrels here or something, or crates. There are also big and heavy planes that were never planned to take off but kind of glide on top of the water level, just going fast. There are some very funky airplane designs out there from during the World War II, etc. Yeah, I think I also saw a few of those. I mean, people were experimenting, I guess, trying to come up with something new and better than their so-called enemies. All right, we have one ship. Let's do another one. Maybe it can be like a barge, like a flat platform floating on some kind of I don't want to say barrels, but maybe barrels. It was the same with this space race, right? There was this huge race to reach the space, and what a great description of a space race. There was this big race to get to the space, and then everything stopped, until recently when Elon Musk started the SpaceX program. So everything was kind of just abandoned, just like with these Zeppelins and huge airplanes and everything. Maybe it all will come back when the technology catches up to the demands of those engineering devices. I'm thinking about like a floating platform to place your air balloon. International bragging rights, we were first. Yeah, it's funny. It's like it's really a human thing to do. Like even cavemen, left their marks, kind of like, hey, here was me. I don't know if they had names, but maybe there is like a little wonky looking cabin here. Just for the I don't know, the guard or something like this. There should be also probably anchors or something like that hanging out on the sides. Yeah, it feels like people just like to mark the territory and say that they were here. All, you know, how hip hop kind of originated from all this. Not really originated, but it all brewed together with street art and all that stuff. So or maybe it's a fishing platform. A lot of stuff comes from people trying to do something first. I think I'm putting too many details into the sketch, but that doesn't matter much. Maybe there is another shed somewhere further away, and here is like a place for air balloons. Huge air balloons, meaning like a transport air balloons, I guess. Everything is transport today. I wonder how is Schmelikopter's painting from last stream doing? Alright, I guess that should do it for this one. It's not really a transport vehicle, it's more like a landing platform, but that still counts, I think. Let's do as an airplane ship, but I think maybe we will use like an old airplane as an example. Kind of like the Wright brothers airplane. Yeah, with two wings. Maybe we can have two decks or something. Let's see. See, something came up. We'll be leaving now. Thanks for the stream. I might be back soon. Okay, take care, the Donian. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. See you around. Alright, so let's see. Kind of like this shape here of the like a big cabin and a small tail, so kind of like this. Maybe here with a platform. Does it need another? Does it need a wheel? I'm not sure. Maybe it needs wings or decks. Don't feel it for now. Maybe it just needs a mast. I like that some of these houses that we drew yesterday, they have this kind of like a tent look. Maybe the boat can also, it can be like a slow drifting boat with a big tent on it. So it's more like a cruise ship, or maybe people of this village, when they need to make a decision, they get on the boat and swim around the island for a few days so they're not disturbed by other people, and then they make a decision. Sounds like a decent idea. Don't like this size of this house. Let's draw it a little bit smaller, I think. Yeah, that's more like it, I think. Size wise. Alright, so we have this tent here. I don't know what's the human size on this platform. It would be, I guess, this on this ship. I mean, I think it feels kind of empty without people, which is okay, but at least for the scale we need some little human figures, I guess. So that would be the scale of this one then. Maybe let's raise this house actually, as if it's on the separate platform, because it's so important. Hey, Solar Fun, welcome to the stream. How are you doing on this Sunday day? As you can see, today we're drawing vehicles and transport. Surprisingly not characters. Maybe we'll do characters in August then. Yeah, July seems to be vehicles and transport. I asked on Instagram yesterday, and more people voted for vehicles than for characters. But it's not, of course, set in stone, and you know, if we're drawing a ship, maybe the ship needs a captain, and then we can draw a character as well. Plus, in August, I think I want to do props and, you know, objects. Who are those people who voted for vehicles, and where are they now? That's the question. Nervan is not joining today because she's busy, but the rest, don't know. Maybe they just wanted to vote and not really draw. Solar Fun, doing good. Just had breakfast and now watching the stream. Well, that sounds good. I didn't have breakfast yet. bravely streaming without food. Maybe they're maybe they don't need this big nose actually, because they're just floating around. They're not really cruising somewhere. Maybe it can have another, like a captain's quarters. And I guess it should have a mast to raise some sort of a flag or something when the decision has been made. Maybe something like that would make sense. So the wisest or old people of the island, when they need to make a decision on the whole group or on the whole tribe, they would get on the boat and sail around the island until they make a decision. At least that's the idea. Maybe there could be legends of, you know, like one time in history they were swimming around for, I don't know, weeks. Something like this. Do they need sails? Maybe they do. Or don't they? Maybe they need a wheel. Let's try a wheel here. Yeah, maybe a wheel is good. Let's find some wheelboats. I don't know if that's how they're called. Steamboat? Wheelboat. Yeah, that's a wheelboat. Maybe it's, no, it's not a steamboat, right? Anyway, doesn't matter. We'll just put a wheel on the boat. Nothing can stop us. Something like maybe a little rim. All right, let's say this one is done. Don't really need to spend so much time on the sketches, I think. Let's think of another boat. So this is like a maybe coal boat. No, just a merchant boat, transport boat. Then this one will be like a landing platform, which is not really a transport, but kind of a vehicle. And this will be Guildhall ship. Yeah, that sounds right. Okay, what else do we need? We don't really need anything, but we can come up with maybe like a multi-tiered layered cake guardianship. Maybe like 3-story high. It could be also a platform. Maybe they don't need to sail that much. Maybe it could be like a remnant, like the leftovers of an old ship that were transformed into a floating fortress. So we can have like a royal boat. What is it? What could it be called? Like a 12, I don't know, 6-deck boat. No, that's wrong. Query. Maybe like, oh, what is it called? Galleon? Yeah, I think. Yeah, something like this exactly. That's what I was looking for. Let's just put it on the side there. So let's imagine that half of this ship survived. Maybe like a bottom half. So it's gonna be like this, and then it goes down. And then this one kind of goes here and to the bottom, like that. And then here you have one mast, here is another little mastkin. Alright, so let's imagine that this is the tail. Let's actually look at this side. So this will be no, that doesn't look like a tail. Oh, today is not as easy as last time. Alright, so let's get this rough shape going, kind of like this, and then it goes straight, and this one goes kind of like this, and then lower, this, and lower. So that would be the ship back, I guess. It's supposed to have a cool name, I think, but I don't know the English term for it. There is something like a, no, that's the sides, starbound and port, but those are the sides, not the front and the back. I hope it all will make sense soon. I will flip this painting right now and then add the floor, and then we'll have like a sideways part of the ship. So here it has some boats or something attached, and then there are some holes for cannons, and that's it. So now we can do this, select it all, flip horizontal, nice. And now we can turn this into like a sideways platform. Maybe they couldn't, like they only had the bottom part of the ship, so they couldn't really restore it, so they just reinforced it maybe with some sticks, and that's it. And maybe build some stuff around it as well, and kind of like a wooden wall, I guess. Maybe there is a mast with this lookout point. Just parts of the ship here and there. And maybe these holes can still be used as barrel holes, or cannon holes rather. They probably wouldn't have anything attached to the boat if they just found the part of it, I guess. So maybe cleaning up some of these parts would help. All right. They can also make holes in the ship by themselves, right? They can cut through new openings, like new windows and doors. So maybe there is like a weird looking window here. So we have kind of like a floating fortress now. Maybe they would put more rails on the other side, so you can also look from there. And maybe they used like an old barge as a base for this ship. Let's maybe switch this music a little. Nope. All right. No, that's also weird. All right, so we have a few general ideas here. Maybe there could be one more little. So this one is like a floating fortress. And one more will be what can it be? Maybe like what that Onion suggested, an airplane floating on the water. So like Wright's Brothers airplane. Well, it doesn't have much structure to it, but maybe something boxy like this. Although it also doesn't seem that it can float. Let's try to start with just a general shape of a triangle and then add some wings here. And maybe if they put wings a little bit sideways like this, they can use them as sails. It looks like some sort of animal right now. Just needs a big home. Anyway, let's do the final one. So we have the wings here kind of playing as sails. They would need to be attached somehow. And then the ship will be like this, I guess. And it probably will then be mostly carcass of a ship, not really a ship itself. It's not really working out, does it? Needs a wheel as well. Or two. Well, sometimes ideas don't work out. Alright, let's take one of these and turn it into a more or less proper illustration. Which one do you think is the most fun? We have one, two. One is first is the transport, then guild hall, then the landing platform, and then the floating fortress. Kind of have 4 ideas. I think maybe the 2, 3, and 4 are the most unusual, but maybe 3rd or 4th. What do you think? Schmelicopter says 2 and 4. You don't like landing platform? I like this, the circle around it. Solar Falcon also says 4. Alright, so the floating fortress it is then. 4 is the most weird one, I think. Which is, in this case, actually fun. Alright, let's do some iterations on this one, I guess. Iterations on the floating fortress. Good choice, guys. I would also choose that one. So let's think of the shape a little bit. I'll be using the guides here just because I can. But you can also do it with the ruler. So that would be generally the shape of the thing. But maybe it should actually go the other way. Maybe the nose should be in this direction. Because then maybe you can actually use this shape of the boat a little bit more aerodynamically. Or maybe, what if we actually take this thing? No, not this, not the whole thing. Just the ship part of this ship. And then copy and paste it. And then we turn it like this. And then we add the same shipness to the bottom part. Then maybe it's kinda just using part of the boat as a boat. This I haven't posted anything for more than a month. Not now, it is too scary to post, says Schmelicopter. Yeah, I feel you. I only post stories lately for some reason. And not really often or consistent. Oh, you know what we can do? We can use a part of another ship. Maybe like a nose of another little ship here. Let's get our ship references back. There it is. I think I should add it to stream references so it doesn't get lost. You can post now, helicopter, and then also share your Instagram, and then we'll all see it and enjoy it and support you in sharing. So let's see. Actually, the nose is much cooler than I thought. So it's like this. That's actually like this somehow. it goes like this, and then from here it has like a little extra something until here. Never really knew how is the nose of the ship constructed. Yeah, don't be scared, Schmelikopter. We're here for you. So that's how ships are made, apparently. That's so weird. Alright. I think actually this looks pretty cool. This like a broken ship. I think these lines should be parallel, the lines at the back and lines in the front. We can make this a little bit tilted into front. Like this maybe. Oh yeah, like this indeed. Okay, now that I know that there is this thing, then this goes down, then there is this holder for the nose, and the nose goes up. Like that, apparently. Such an unusual construction. It seems like it should be very hard to do it without any machines or tools. And those ships were constructed in times before Industrial Revolution, so it's actually really impressive what they achieved. On the other hand, this whole setting is kind of happening in the alternate universe future. So it could be also that the technology survived, and then people can use machines and tools. And there's this, I think this mast should be a little bit tilted, not bent like this, but rather just tilted. And then, do we need a wheel or do we need sails? That's the question. Maybe this one can use some sails on this nose mast thing. The crow's nest, that's the word I was looking for. That's the thing, the observation deck on top of the mast. It's called the crow's nest, I think. Alright, so maybe we'll have some more cannon holes here, since it's a floating fortress. Maybe there are even 2 rows of those cannons. Maybe it has a drawing of an eye on top of it. Alright, so I think now we'll have to choose one of these to continue. Maybe this one will have a wheel in front. Maybe not the big wheel, but a wheel nonetheless. Like this. It looks like it can also use some like wings or something like that. Or like sails here. Alright, so let's move this one a little bit. I think they all need some background color. To make them stand out a little bit more. So we understand the shape better. That's usually the trickiest part for me, at least. Don't know how about you guys, but switching from sketching, from drawing to painting, like from sketch to color, is always a struggle. Kinda never turns out the way I wanted. I can show you an example. I recently drew this thing. So as a sketch, it's actually like I kind of like it. It's a nice sketch, but as soon as I start adding colors, you know, it's all starting to fall apart, and I don't really know what's the problem. Maybe I'm just inexperienced in that, so it just needs more practice and time. I'm not really doing that much digital drawing anyway, so then I picked it up only like in February, because you have to start with a super limited palette. I do start with a super limited palette, but it doesn't help. I even made my own palette with like I start sketching, then I sometimes do the shading with like darker and lighter values, so it's super limited. But then when it comes to actually coloring, that's when it all becomes disgusting. You know what I mean? I have kind of limited palette here. I don't use all of them. I either use like yellows and blues, or the greens, or these like pinkish guys. Maybe Schmilicopter, maybe you can stream someday and I can learn how you do it. Let's add some background to this one as well. No. Alright. No streaming from Schmilicopter. Alright. Then I'll have to figure it out by myself. Alright, which one of these seems to be the most appealing to you? Oh no. My background gets shrinked. Let's just make them the same size so it's easier to compare. Then we can take some ideas from one or another and just do a final little drawing. Just some organizational matter. Actually, let's put them sideways. All right, that's a bit better. All right, now one more voting. Let's have them this time named A, B, and C. All right. What do you think, guys? Which one seems the most fun? I would think that number C is the great number. The version C is the weirdest, which is the best in this case. Alright, while you're voting, I will mute myself for a few seconds. And I'm back. B is fun, but C makes more sense. Is Dramatish. Hey, Dramatish. Didn't see you there. Tough one, tough one. B is fun, C makes more sense. Let's see if anyone else has any other ideas, and if not, then maybe we'll try to combine them. Oh no. Schmelicopter says C with an exclamation mark. Actually, maybe I still make them vertical. No, actually, whatever, let's keep them horizontal and just move them here. And this one just for reference, and finally these guys. Just a little bit of organization on the sheet. Maybe I'll need to make everything smaller. C. All right, let's get to it. Stop delaying the inevitable. All right. C, you say? All right, C means C. Let's actually cheat a little bit and just take it and copy and paste it and just make it bigger and done. All right, thank you for this stopping by, everybody. No, just kidding. Let's align some vertical and horizontal lines first. With the ruler. Alright, that's more horizontal now. What do we do now? Let's, I guess, make it a little more transparent and just do the outlines. Maybe with some different brush. This one is good because I set it up so it fixes itself automatically a little bit, so it's not as wobbly as it usually is. Get serious internet problems here. Solar fun, office half the time, offline half the time. Oof. That's tough. I guess everybody's watching something, or maybe restarting the router. Traumatized says, do I even ask what the crew is like on this ship? Vampires are cool, so are pirates. I suspect vampires run the ship. Well, this whole setting is kind of based on real world, so I would say more pirates than vampires. So it's based on the real world, as if, you know, the world is flooded and there is most of people live in the air or on the on these little hills or tops of the mountains that are sticking out, or underwater or on the water. So pirates definitely are contestants. But since it's a fortress ship, maybe it's like a special order of people who float around and, I don't know, collect taxes. Maybe it's a tax office ship. That's why there is this all-seeing eye of tax pirates. Then we need to call this thing a pirate bay. Maybe. Do tax pirates just pretend to be tax collectors and collect money, or do they just not pay taxes? That's a serious question. This ship has two butts, one in front and one at the back. I just thought. I assume that tax collectors collect the money from the people, and then the pirates collect collect everything the tax collector got. That's a good one, actually. So it's not really a tax collector's boat, it's pirates' boat that collect taxes from tax collectors. And then the king is very well, yeah. Obviously, nobody cares about the king. Hail to the king. let's make it one smooth line. Maybe the king can hire these pirates. I guess, you know, if pirates are collecting taxes all the time from your tax collector, as a king, I think I would actually hire the pirates. So then for them it's good, because then my military is not chasing them. For them it's good because they get a big cut, or maybe not a big cut. I mean, it's not a good good idea for politics. It's been done before and never ended well when you give taxes to a private contractor. But in general, maybe in this situation the king actually hired these pirates as tax collectors. So now they are tax pirates. The logic checks out. There might be mutual trust issues, however. Yeah, that's where we will base the conflict of our movie. Based on this world building summer. Because next summer, of course, it will be summer of filmmaking, and then what else do we need? Summer of game making. And then it becomes a big old debate of who killed who. Yeah, something like that. Then like a new ruler comes and says like, no, pirates collecting tax, it's not gonna cut it with me. But maybe the whole system is already working like that, and there are aristocrats that don't like the change. And then they start fighting and intriguing against each other. Maybe we should make summer of screenplay writing. I think the many fun summers ahead. Yeah. Maybe this ship should have like holes and signs of damage because it was assembled from like different parts of different ships. So maybe there is like a big patch here. I don't know how realistically you can assemble one ship from different ships, because they're all, especially these wooden ones, they probably all are a little bit different. But you know, we're not really bound by reality here. And maybe it should have also like a big patch here, because it will be too many holes otherwise. Something like this. Not sure that what I'm doing right now is adding really anything, but I kinda don't really know how to proceed elsewise. Elsewise. What is this? Can you even say elsewise? No, right? Let's round this off a little bit here. What did the ship collide with on that unfortunate day? Good question. There could be a few options, right? Maybe. First of all, maybe it didn't collide with anything. You know, since there was a flood, maybe it just got destroyed by water. Schmedecocker says, okay, I'm leaving now. Thank you for the 13 stream. Thanks for stopping by, Schmelly. Don't forget to post something if you're gonna post something. And have a good day. Alright, so the ship and colliding. You did great. Then wait, where did you post? Didn't post on Discord, right? And did you post on Telegram? No, you posted on Instagram. Didn't post anything in my pants, please. My pants are under control. I hope you didn't say it to Drama Dash. Would be kind of funny. Anyway, the ship colliding. I think maybe it was just standing in the bay somewhere, and when the water rose, it just got smashed. Like a lot of ships get smashed into the rocks, just into the cliffs. I don't think they would like combine into something like that by themselves, so that's probably human-made part. But what do you think? Pants are always optional if you're willing to live with the consequences. Always forget where the accent is. True. What do you think happened, Traumatage? What did the ship collide with? If it did collide after all. What a great flag. Why am I struggling with the flag so much? There, it's fine. Good enough. I think that the ship one day collided with a whale and the whale was unharmed, which is a very important thing to point out for all whale defenders out there. As the pirates came back to port, it inspired a new line of ship designs looking just like that. So the pirates survived the hit with the whale, and the whale was unharmed somehow. It's not a bad idea. I like that. People were just like swimming around browsing for new ideas of ship construction, and then it just hit them. A whale hit them. Let's turn it upside down. I heard that like I'm saying like so much. I heard that turning images upside down and flipping them sideways helps to not lose the perspective on the bigger picture. And it does help because sometimes when you're drawing small details, you zoom out and then realize that your small details are actually too small or huge. Let's draw cannon holes this time a little bit different. I'll try to make two parallel lines to the side of the ship and then just cut squares out of it, kind of out of this strip. But these ships sell extraordinarily well to pirates everywhere who adore these design senses. Maybe it could be the first of its kind, you know. Maybe it's the first of its kind, and people like super rich people who can afford building such ship will really go wild on this new design. Let's now remove the unwanted lines. And now we have nice line of more or less kind of ish similar looking squares. Or at least if they're not similar enough looking, at least they're more or less aligned to each other. And I think that was my main goal. This one would also have some wood covering it because it's too low. Let's just mark some of the wooden things here, wooden planks. Let's add the sails actually as well on this one. Maybe the sails are connected like this. Would that make sense? Hmm. I'm not really a ship knower. Don't know much about ships, so I'm not sure this would work in real life. But since it's a drawing, we can assume that it would work. Let's just add some more details, I guess, around the cannon holes. We can bring out our reference for designs for details again. This is a bit too thick. So many ropes there. That's actually a good idea to add, because then it's gonna look more fun, I guess. Let's say there are no sails yet. Maybe it's not going anywhere, it's just standing. Then we can copy some of these nice sails from the reference. Traumatech says the third option is it's really windy in this world, and that this ship is in fact completely aerodynamic and so fast that it can cross the Atlantic in 2 days. So because of its inverse shape, it actually gained some advantages. I like this idea. Maybe that's what happened indeed. That's why people are so happy with the design. But since everything was kind of destroyed, you probably wouldn't have that many ships available. So maybe that's why it's also very rare and expensive to have this ship. Just some sails here. They will be floating down kind of vertically, so like this will be their direction, because they use gravity mostly. I mean, they can also use some wind, but they should kind of go directly down, which is hard to understand when the picture is so turned there. You take what you have and build something out of it. In a sense, resources in the scarce resources world. Yeah, that's kind of the whole, I think, idea of this world, to make it a little bit messy and DIY, kind of like, you know, Waterworld movie. I don't know. Let's say these are the lines. This also needs like a little net, I think. Maybe we need more lines. Because it looks like that's what the ships are made of, mostly ropes hanging in the air. Maybe there is another. Nah, doesn't need to have another net, I think. Actually, with the sails it looked a little bit more fun. Let's add sails back. Yeah, I think with the sail it's a little bit less awkward with all the ropes. And I guess I will add the sail here back as well. If you think about it, there shouldn't be sails both on the top and on the bottom here, because the bottom ones are kind of too low to make any sense, to get any wind in them. I just wanted to add some shadows, I guess. Maybe some lines for the wood planks, just to indicate that this is wood. We need to indicate that this is wood as well, and it also has these things everywhere. There's holes and different ornaments and details. Maybe the shipbuilder is in this world is named Picasso, but wait, that is just crazy talk. Maybe they call him the Picasso of shipmaking. Why not? Or, you know, since it's long time in the future in the alternate universe, you never know. Maybe people use, like, you know, in Soviet Union people used Lenin and Stalin as names sometimes, just because they were so brainwashed. So maybe in that world, I mean, you don't have to be brainwashed to call your child Picasso, but I don't know, maybe they just don't know what the main, like, who that was, just use the name because it sounds cool, you know, like an old school name. Sometimes people call their children names of their great grandparents or something like that, and the names you sound very old and outdated, but so what? So maybe it's the same with Picasso. this one goes the wrong direction. Not wrong, but a different one. Just to keep it more interesting, I guess. Oops, it's a very small cannon. Something like this. Maybe there is another, like a window open at the back. Often these ships would have captain's quarters at the back. I guess then they wouldn't have cannons underneath them. Well, let's remove this last one. And add another window to the captain's quarters. I think these ones would be probably closed. Alright. Let's add some color, I guess. Maybe we'll use for this different brush. A noisy captain's quarters, maybe he deserves it. Maybe he's a good captain. If he is the one who, like, I like the idea of not really solo travelers, but kind of little groups of adventurers that stick to each other, kind of. So maybe the captain is the one who actually invented this boat, and then he just got a crew of pirates, and like maybe that's why he is the captain, because he came up with this thing and it's so great that all the pirates just joined him. How about that? Like a captain inventor. It could be that there was this island and all the pirates were living in it. Maybe not pirates, but just regular people. And then one of them came up with this idea for the boat, because there were leftover boat parts laying around everywhere after the flood. So this guy, he just came up with this boat monstrosity and built it himself, and got respect of people on the island, and that's how they became strong and follow his command and rob tax collectors. Sounds like a decent story. What do you say? So it's like a captain inventor who Maybe he overturned the government in the little village where they lived, or maybe there was no government and he became the first mayor because he became really rich from robbing people, robbing tax collectors, not just people. Sounds like a decent story. Hello, Onion, welcome back. A Robin Hood captain would be fun. That story has already been told. I like the inventor angle. Well, more or less, you know, every story has been told. Maybe it's not like a Robin Hood kind, really, but just an inventor who got tired of everything, and maybe he can have some sort of like interesting story why he became that way, or like why he decided to build the boat. Sea Avengers. Kind of like that, yeah, like inventor guy turned pirate turned tax collector. This ship, I think we decided that it's the tax pirates, meaning the pirates that go around robbing tax collectors. And maybe they would be hired later in the story by the king as tax collectors, or maybe not. Maybe they get hired to maybe they're just mercenaries. They can get hired to explore stuff, or because their captain is an inventor, maybe they also request some new inventions from him once in a while. But now the most difficult part for me is coloring all this stuff. I don't even think I will finish it on stream because it's, I don't know how to do it quickly and nicely. It usually takes a lot of time and doesn't look right at the end, so maybe I just need more practice, or maybe there is like an approach that I'm missing. Maybe not coloring is the approach. But when it's not colored, it's usually a little bit, boring, kinda. It's not that it becomes that much more fun when it's colored, but and now we're not calling it Boaty McBoatface this time. If anyone was wondering, we had once a stream when we were doing what was it, like a fantasy mystical islands something, and there was a no, it wasn't a mystical island, it was a fantasy map, that's what it was. And just because there was no other option, or no better option, kind of, it turned out that everything is called after after Bob on that island. It was the island of Bobs. There was like volcano. The capital was Bob Town, I think, or something like that. It was kind of weird. I always think color in its simplest form is worse than just a colorless sketch. Yeah, it's, I don't know, I think there could be cool sketches with just a minimum amount of color applied in the right places, but I haven't found the right places yet, you know. Some people can just, you know, do a few strokes and it gives the right impression from the color and like the right feel, but doesn't become dirty or something like this. It's really easy to mess up a good sketch with bad lighting and color work, which is usually what I do. But on the other hand, if you don't try to improve your color, you will never improve it, kind of. So it's also important to keep practicing even though it doesn't work out. They need to have a black flag, of course. Otherwise, what kind of pirates are they? Very true. Alright, I think this is not terrible. We need to do something with the line work though. Maybe just put it in some color mode, like soft light sounds good. No, actually I don't want to merge them yet, I think. Colors is one of the hardest topics in art, but it is an optional one. Is it though? In like, even if you're drawing a black and white sketch of something, you still need to consider lighting and you still need to consider values, and that's kind of all tied to colors because we're living in the physical world where is no such thing as something colorless, right? So in a way, even when you're drawing black and white, you still need, like, you still base it on your experience from real world, which is colorful. and it's perceived as, if it's something real, like even if it's something real, people will perceive it as not even, but if it's something based on real world, people will perceive it as if it has color in a way, right? Even if it's black and white, unless it's abstract art, I guess, or silhouettes. But in general, I think, yeah, you don't have to use the color, and there are people who can express their ideas without the color. But sometimes color is just like fun and adds life to the image, I think. It's really hard, at least for me, to draw an image without color that would be like very lively or something. But here, I'm not sure. I think that's how I see it. Color is not important. Yeah, I don't know. It's I guess it's a personal preference in a way. I think I will actually finish it here. I feel like it's I don't really know how to proceed further from here to make it better without getting angry and annoyed. And we've come quite a long way. We did a few sketches and some bigger explorations. Let's just add some of the background, maybe some blue. Color can be fun, like Marcobucci personal work lightbox data item something. Let's see. Marcobucci, yeah, I know that guy. He's great. Where is the web share? There it is. Oh no. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's an amazing work. I think also Illustrator does a lot of fun stuff. If you don't follow him, I highly recommend him. But yeah, he does this kind of amazing stuff with colors as well. Like they're all atmospheric and very sketchy, but very like lively, and the storytelling there is great. Yeah. Anyway, nice work. Yeah, he's great. So let's say let's call it a day, I think, for now. Just add some water and some light on the background. Maybe I will work on that a little bit more later, but for now I think I'll just share the links. Don't forget to do all the good stuff with following and sharing your art everywhere, and thank you for joining. I think next time I probably won't be streaming next Sunday. I will be away, but in 2 weeks I will be back, and I hope you keep drawing, keep sharing, and have a nice day. Have a lovely week, and see you next time. Thanks for stopping by, everybody.